Wild card! It's the wild card. It's electric football. The camera might be moving because we're now lower tech than we've ever been before. Before I forget to do it, I would like to say a little shout out to Gio for getting all the football prognosticators together.
That's a good idea.
Gio knows. If you haven't, if you don't know him, you should know Gio. So Gio knows, and
Bo knows Gio.
The football guru, and just the support that we've gotten from some of the other shows. Please check out the other prognosticators. Gio knows.
Guru, Team
Guru.
Take'em, you name them. Bridgewater's finest.
Give him a little love. Give him a comment. It's rewarding when you see that somebody's actually watching it and commenting. So shout out to the other shows. They've been very good to us, and we've been a little lax in recognizing them. Mullen Mears, Bridgewater's finest.
Yeah.
What's
the
the one with the good-looking girl? You know,
the one with the good-looking girl.
Anyway, don't watch that show because you'll never come back to this show.
I'll watch it with the sound off.
Wildcard, Stu, start us
All
off.
right, here we go. Well, let's start off with the Cardinals and the Panthers. Panthers D dominated in a game the other day for the division, which cost Mike Smith his job in Atlanta. Although I think his record over the last 5 years, I've been calling for him for years, haven't I?
His fate was sealed.
But the offense was pretty mediocre here. Newton was 10 of 16 for 114 yards. The Cats ran for 194 yards, but I'm not sure if the Cardinals' defense is going to allow that to happen there. Roman Harper and Trey Boston returned 2 picks for touchdowns, which helped, the points be that far. I mean, it's 14 added to the offense. Makes the game look way out of hand. Cardinals Lindley threw 3 picks against the Harbaugh-led 49ers. He did produce over 300 yards in passing, but 3 picks kind of negates that. They miss Ellington. They don't have a running game without Ellington, it seems, and I'm not sure they can survive without a good running game and a better quarterback. It's a miracle they got into the playoffs. Coach of the year here for Arians for what he's patched together here. They were on their way earlier this year, kind of falling apart here and everything that. I will begrudgingly take Cam Newton and the Panthers here. I'd rather see the Cardinals, but I don't see that happening. They're just a more balanced team than Arizona right now.
Trenchant analysis by the man in the Fairlawn Cutters
Let's go.
jersey.
Yeah, I've ditched the Dolphin gear, believe me.
I guess the making Geno Smith look like a primary quarterback.
My team is filled with a bunch of...
Beep. Stu's down to rooting for our local high school. Anyway,
Honest to God.
That was trenchant analysis, and what I got from what Stu said was basically, yes, it was trenchant.
Thank you. I'll have to look that up later.
Was that Carolina dominated but was not dominating.
Right.
And the Cardinals are a dominant team, except they don't have a quarterback. Who's it going to be back there? Is it going to be Lindley? Is it going to be Grice? Is it going to be Stanton? Is it going to be Pace? Is it going to be Kardashian?
Oh, God, I hope it's Pace.
Whoever it is back there, I would love to see you drop back for one pass in the NFL.
I need the money. Sign me for one play.
But I would really assume that whoever is back there for the Cardinals is going to make more mistakes and less plays than Cam. And I think, like I said last week, patting myself on the back, the Panthers have the recipe to win this game easily. Mm-hmm. Pound the ball. It's a great Cardinals defense, but pound the ball at it. Take the 1 or 2 plays that Cam has to make and hope he makes them, and force who's ever the QB of the Cardinals to put it in the air.
Right.
There's your win. So I am taking Carolina also.
All right. Here we go. We're going to go to the second game, which is it should be the final game, personally, in my opinion. Ravens-Steelers. I love this matchup. I would love it more if I knew that Le'Veon Bell was playing. He injured his knee in the third quarter in what looked like to be a pretty bad hit. Did you see it?
But they're saying it's not a bad injury.
Yeah.
Right now.
But he's not going to be 100%. If he took himself out in the third quarter, I can't imagine he's going to be in good shape. But it is the playoffs, and he's going to get him in there. That swings the pendulum to Baltimore for me a little bit, because without that running game, they don't really have the other backs that can make up for him. I mean, he's kind of special in that offense. Forsett is, he ran like a madman against Cleveland, and yet Baltimore really wasn't beating them up either. It was 10-10 for a long time here. It was closer than it should have been, and Baltimore struggled against the Browns. They shouldn't have, not when you're heading into the playoffs. Flacco threw over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pittsburgh is a 4-point favorite here, and they split the series, each beating each other handily at home. So I'm going to take the Steelers here for the win.
Because we're not sure of Bell, this is a little bit more in question than you would have thought.
Yeah.
But what you were saying, and it was very important to me, 2 teams that could solidify their playoff standings last week. The Ravens going against a Connor Shaw-led Browns, and a Browns team who their players are just not bothering to show up or showing up late. Evidently, somebody told the rookies on the Browns, like, the rules don't matter. Like, you know that rookie symposium they have when they bring them in? The Browns, Pettin must have been like, nah, whatever, Johnny, go drinking. Take Josh with you drinking. Justin Gilbert, you show up whenever's good for you.
Yeah, our owner's a peach.
And that team I believe, was leading the Ravens in the second half.
They were.
So, kind of scary there. Whereas the Steelers went out and took care of business. When the Steelers have been at their best is up here. Mm-hmm. When the Ravens have been at their best is here. Right now, I think the Steelers are playing better. I think they have better playmakers. And I like the home field advantage. I like the revenge factor for the Steelers. I'm going Steelers.
All right, so there you go. We both picked the Steelers. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Bengals Colts. Both teams have an Andy, but one plays like a Toy Story cowboy and the other like an NFL quarterback. The Colts had the day off as they swept Tennessee while the Bengals struggled against Pittsburgh. The Colts crushed Cincinnati in October with Dalton throwing for like 125 yards, and the ground game is a non-existent weapon against the Colts here. So I see no reason that it's not another lopsided Colts victory in this game here. Indy plays better against the run than the pass, and that kind of will limit what Dalton can do. If they don't have a running game and you're counting on Andy Dalton to win a game, that's their weakness, Andy Dalton. A.J. Green is going through concussion protocol, so I don't even know what his status is today. We are taping on Monday. So there's no problem with taking the Colts here and probably a victory of over 17 points. That's my guess.
A quick Toy Story aside, I am going to miss Rex and Woody being talked about with the Jets.
Yeah, I know.
I kept expecting somebody to say, and Buzz is going to come in, and they're going to go to infinity and beyond. So a lot of coaches losing their jobs today, and Rex and John Idzik both swept out here. Anyway, Bengals at Colts, 2 teams not exactly playing their best late into the season. Mm-hmm. The Colts risked injuring Andrew Luck to put him in against the Titans to get some momentum. Dalton threw his usual picks in a big game, and A.J. Green, talking about important injuries, A.J. Green might be concussed. I think they're giving him the how many fingers routine right now.
Albuquerque.
I honestly believe that the Bengals can win this game if they're smart. I believe that their running game is superior and the Colts' defense is very susceptible to the run. And I think if they take the ball out of Andy Dalton's hands,
they have to.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost do direct snaps the entire time.
New wrinkle.
Andy, you go out and play wide receiver. I mean, the Colts have a bigger fleener. They have home field advantage. They have a better quarterback. There's every reason to take the Colts. But I'm going with the upset. Run, Marvin, run.
Well, there's always one game that you go, what, on WildCard weekend? This could be it.
This is the one I'm picking.
Yeah, I don't think the other ones are. So
Hill and Bernard, run. Go fix me a chicken pot pie. All right, Boudet, give me the Bengals.
All right. And the last game is the Namdekan Sioux playing the Cowboys in Dallas. Except Namdekan Sioux is not playing. We've learned that he has been suspended for one game. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to rant for a second. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? We ranted last week about Raiola, and I talked about Sue being better at the stomping. Evidently, he's not, because he got suspended for a freaking playoff game, and he didn't even stomp hard. He just sort of stood there. What the hell are you thinking? And why the entire... I just kept looking at that game. I am not looking for people to be injured. But after that happened, I kept wondering why the Packers didn't take about 4 guys and just double them up. Somebody lift him up. Somebody hit him in the gut. I'm not saying take out his knees, but if he's going to step on an already injured Aaron Rodgers with the calf, Gutsy performance by Aaron Rodgers, by the way. What happened to the old NFL where 3 guys would have taken his helmet off and a 4th guy would have hit him with it?
Pitchers throw at the next guy up at bat,
Where's freaking Matt Millen when you need him? Where's Mad Dog Mike Curtis? Anyway. Am I supposed to be talking about the game?
I don't. Go ahead.
Did you finish?
All right. No, I didn't even start. Detroit goes for their 3rd road game in a row, and gosh,
you hate that.
I hate 2, but let alone 3. And they're going to face a Cowboys team that is clicking on all cylinders here. Detroit's only decent win, though, this season was against the Packers, and that was in Week 3. If you look at their schedule, they really didn't beat anybody. Dallas, on the other hand, was 8-0 on the road. So they lost their 4 games at home, which is kind of surprising that they would lose their 4 games on the road. They lost to the Skins, the Niners.
Stu doing research.
I did research. Skins, Niners, Eagles, Cardinals, all losses at home. And they're all, the Skins, that was early in the season. They're not very good. But certainly to lose to the Niners and the Cardinals is not a shameful thing. But at home, you would think they would have beaten them. Both teams have a big play receiver. Dallas has the better run game, but that's kind of offset by the cheap shotters. They're just going to step on people until everyone's on the sidelines and Danny White comes in here. The main difference that I see this season in these 2 teams is Dallas scores a lot, Detroit does not. It still surprises me that this Detroit team doesn't, but they're 100 points behind Dallas in points scored this year. So let's take Dez DeMarco and Tony Romo here and put up more points than the Lions. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Hate to do it, but I'm taking the Cowboys too. And it's kind of a shame because these are the 2 teams that I actually think could go farthest based on the talent they have as far as wild card weekend teams. Maybe the Steelers too if they get particularly hot. I don't have a lot of faith in the other teams. And these are 2 teams that are pretty similar. They've got QBs with a penchant for choking in the big games.
Right.
What's Stafford's record against winning teams on the road? Like 0 for crappy?
50.
Yeah. They both have studly wideouts, but only one team really has the great running back this year. And one team is mentally tougher. The Cowboys are mentally tougher than the Lions. You will see a moment in the game where the Lions players, particularly on defense, go like this. It might be a Stafford pick. It might be them giving up a big run to DeMarco Murray. But there will come a moment where you can see the Lions give up. Not many teams in the NFL, you can actually see the whole team sag. The Lions do it. Then they start cheap shotting, and you know the game is over. Yeah. They're mentally weak. I hate to do it because I'm a Viking guy. Give me the Cowboys. One last little quick rant. What else does J.J. Watt have to do to win the MVP?
Oh, he's got it.
Alan Page, Lawrence Taylor, and now it should be J.J. Watt. I don't know that he has it because Rodgers, gutsy performance, wins the division, comes in after being injured and carted off.
But you know what?
DeMarco Murray.
But Watt did everything. Everything. I mean, and that if I had a vote in this, and we don't because we're just a little electric football show. But my God, offense, defense, he did it all. 3
sacks and a safety in the final game. Put them ahead 6 points late. Gave them a chance for the playoffs. You couldn't ask for more. So I'm throwing my hat in the J.J. Watt ring for MVP, and I hope he gets it. Stu. Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry. Early on, said thank you to the other shows. I'd like to say thank you to the fans. Half Moon Picks, Joni, Go Fix Me a Chicken Pot Pie, Poetic Power, and Dolphin 316. All y'all, anybody that's come on and given us a comment, Charles Darwin, famous scientist, he comes by.
The guy that hates us because we keep picking against the Seahawks.
Yeah, whoever that is, the 2 people that always give us the 2 thumbs down.
Who are you?
I don't know who you early riser, I think. Come on, bring it on. So we love you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back after these picks are right this week.
We really do. We wish you a Happy New Year. It is New Year's this week, so we're hoping that the Dolphins fire everybody, but they won't. We're a piece of crap team. We'll see you next year on Electric Football. Guess what's coming?
Not the paper.
The hand.